meanwhile, here's North, apparently.
Yeah, well, I have some questions here too, because I'm sure the audience didn't think of it. Oh, you do have some questions?
They do.
Any questions? Yeah, okay. So let's start with, well, actually, let's start with you.
Let's do
it.
Good idea.
Could you give us 5 minutes and tell us a
Sure.
little bit about, I'm sure these people want to know maybe a little bit about voice acting, how you found it, how they could find it one day.
Yeah, okay, sure. Yeah, well, I started out as a child, like Bill Cosby, and I used to listen to all Bill Cosby's and some of his brothers' comedy albums and crazy things like that. And for me, I was always the kid in the back of the room, you know, doing dolphin noises. We don't have dolphins here at St. Columba, Mr. Cummings. And she was right. And so I got kind of kicked out of class a lot, and I guess apparently I did okay in the hallway. But I remember thinking as a kid that when my dad pointed out once that Mel Blanc was on TV doing something, he goes, "You see this guy? That guy does that Daffy Duck and the Taz and the Foghorn Legged, you know, the two guys, Bugs Bunny, and you know." And I go, "Really?" And I was thinking, well, gosh, he's making a living doing stuff that gets me in trouble. And I said, well, I'll do that then, you know. And then Paul Winchell, same thing with all the incredible ventriloquism. And you know, people always say, well, how did you get started? I don't know that I got started knowingly at the age of 4, but I kind of did. Just by being an obnoxious child. I don't recommend it, but it worked out. But I was always in plays as a kid. I was born in Youngstown, Ohio, not too far, and I was always in plays. You know, like I say, I'd be 12 years old, but I'd want to go be the ogre or the wizard instead of the 12-year-old prince, because it was more of a stretch, and it was just more fun. And you know, bad guys seem to have had a pretty good time, and the prince was always like, "Oh, sure, no problem. Let somebody else do that. You know, I'll be casting a spell on him to turn him into a weasel." It was more fun, so I accidentally was doing kind of research for my career, you know, as it turned out. And then in high school, I was on speech team, did all that stuff, and always knew that I would be either something in the arts. I paint for a living, paint pictures for a living, which I did for a little while. I painted murals and Mardi Gras floats and designed them in New Orleans for a few years. And I always wanted to, believe it or not, be a deckhand on a riverboat and a drummer in a strip joint on Bourbon Street. But so like I say, in the arts. You know, okay, maybe not dancing. You know, nobody wants to see me dance, including me. But you know, music and singing, acting, you know, painting, that was working for me. I'm no good at punching time cards or getting letters after my name, apparently. But on the other hand, I get to hang out with you guys. But you know, in '84, I made my first demo tape, which I guess, you know, for a voice actor, I mean, you know, you say voice actor, blah blah blah, I do voices. Well, the thing is, you're a character actor. You know, we're all character actors, guys like myself and Rob Paulson, Jess Harnell, or you know, Frank Walker, Tara Strong, all our buddies. You know, we're all character actors, really, who just well, you don't see us, so that helps. It keeps us out of the makeup a lot, and you don't have to worry about lighting, you know, obviously. But you know, it's just all done with the voice. You know, we were character actors who have characters who have interesting voices, and it just comes across that way. And I always joke around. I've been nominated for an Emmy 5 times, and I'm 0 for 5. But my joke is that anybody could win an Emmy if they get to use their face. You know, but
how do you find it?
It just works, you know. Well, for me, you know, they'll bring it to you. You know, it's always good to get a picture, you know. And you know, the producer, the creator, the director, they'll be saying, well, you know, this guy is very timid, or he's very shy, or else he's big and boisterous, and you know, and you just sort of adjust, aim and fire, and keep firing until they go, oh, okay, that stinks, oh, that's pretty good. You stop at that's pretty good, and then you try to get that better. And so made a demo tape, shopped it around, and I accidentally got my first job I auditioned for on my day off. It was Dumbo Circus. Cable TV was just breaking, and that apparently Disney Channel was gearing up. Apparently they've done well with it. Those kids, I'll tell you. And I was Lionel the Lion on Dumbo Circus. It wasn't animation, but it was the folks in the animatronic costumes with the eyes that bulged and did all this weird stuff. And so that was my intro, and I didn't know that it was impossible to break into. Fortunately, I was, ignorance was bliss, and I'm still blissful. And so one thing led to another, and then I got an agent, and I think I lucked out as timing-wise, because at that point, as we had said, Disney Afternoon was gearing up, and there were a lot of shows breaking, and American animation was percolating away, and I was there at a nice time, and all the things that used to get me kicked out of class worked out, so I get to come hang out with you guys, and so that was kind of how I started, But there's no formula though. People say, well, how do you do it? I said, well, first you get a job at a steel mill, get kicked out of class, then you get on a riverboat. No, wait, that doesn't sound right. But it was the way it worked. And look, how about that? Seek and ye shall find. Our old friend Moisture. And by the way, happy Independence Day, happy 4th of July. God bless America. Where would this country be without this great land of ours, huh? You know what I mean? So yeah.
How do you find a crazy character like Ed?
Like Ed? Oh, geez.
What did they tell you for that one?
Well, I don't know. I think it's a syndrome. He might not even be a real character. No, it was funny because my friend Frank Welker, they got him first, and Frank is an amazing guy. He's not very much for publicity. He doesn't do a lot of, signing or, anything like that, but he's just the greatest guy in the world. And Frank's the kind of guy that, he was Slimer, he was Cujo in the Stephen King movie, 25 years ago. If you need a Martian snail from the south side of Chicago, Frank's the guy. Well, I guess they tapped him, and he just wasn't comfortable with it. He says, why don't you call Jimmy? He's crazy. And apparently he was right, and I am. And the way that we did Ed, it was very different. Well, they knew what they wanted with Ed. They wanted one wise guy, one Weisenheimer gal, Whoopi and Cheech, and then one guy who really didn't say anything, but who packed a lot of emotion and a lot of bodaciousness, and they are laughing hyenas, so you gotta laugh, even when nothing's funny. So we're sitting around trying to, they didn't know what to do with them, for Lion King, and Rob Minkoff, Don Hahn, Roger Allers, then they're going, well, here, let's do this. So they got a legal pad, and they go, here, write this down. Write down anger, betrayal, hysteria, lust, more anger, really hungry, hungrier than hell, and fearful and nutty and crazy and killer instinct. And they said, now take all of these words, all of these emotions, all of them, and turn them into laughs. Oh, okay. Next. No. But I just went down the line, and we kind of did, I did other things for the movie, but just as far as Ed goes, gosh, I think I was Ed for 45 minutes tops. I sang a song, Be Prepared, and then since we're on Lion King, this is kind of a fun story. My friend Jess Harnell, who is one of the, Wacko, Yakko, Wacko, and Dot, he's a little cute little fellow with the little hat, the red hat. And he's a singer, I'm a singer. And Nathan Lane and Ernie Sabella were Timon and Pumbaa. And I guess they're not singers or musicians per se, so they said, well, let's just get Jim and Jess in, and Jess could be Timon and Jim could be Pumbaa, and we'll get them to sing a song that they wrote called Hakuna Matata. And so, you know, Elton John and Tim Rice wrote this song. And we're kind of singing. He was Timon, I was Pumbaa. When I was a young boy, and we're going through there. And Tim Rice wasn't there. He was the lyricist. He wrote the lyrics and the words. And so they were going, geez, I don't know. It's kind of like, this is weird because it's kind of like we're going, well, when I was a kid it was tough, and you know, it's like, I'm sure everybody's dad, when I had to go to school, I had to walk uphill in 10 feet of snow both ways. You know, and I said, kids hate that. But on the other hand, he is a warthog, and he passes gas a lot, apparently. I don't know if you guys noticed that. Remember that from the movie? So I said, oh, wait, I gotta learn. So I Touretted out the fart verse, is what I'm getting at, in Hakuna Matata. Oh, the shame of the name, and I thought of changing my name, and I got downhearted every time that I, but not in front of the kids, sorry. Hakuna Matata, sing it with me. So I classed up the movie with a fart joke. And thank you. And then I accidentally did it again on purpose in Princess and the Frog while we're on. I was Ray, and while I was trying to screw in his light bulb, he accidentally lost a little air pressure. Excuse me. And jeez, did that answer the question? No. What's he talking about? We didn't even ask that. Anyway, so yeah. Hi. Nice ears, by the way.
Thanks.
What kind of ears are those? Isn't that little, is that the bat?
I'm a bat, yeah.
Yes! Wow, good ears.
Thank you.
And I bet that's the bat that can hear really well.
And that is
See?
because I really want to hear.
Well, why don't we go ahead and take some
Yes,
direct
please.
questions.
Hi.
What's your favorite animal?
Oh, gosh, probably eagle, dolphin, giraffe.
We have an eagle, dolphin, or giraffe in the question. Yes? A bird of any kind. Seriously?
Not a unicorn. Just
All right.
cray
I
cray.
see a hand here.
Yes, the answer is
What was the
yes.
hardest voice that you ever had to do?
Oh boy. Well, Taz is up there. It's what we were doing. We did like, 120 something, 11-minute Taz radio shows, and I would always ask him to do it on a Friday afternoon, so I had the weekend to heal. You know. Well, Taz tired. You know. But there was one that was really, really terrible, and I'm gonna say this hoping that no one ever saw it. It was I think it wasn't really a sequel to Christine, the Stephen King movie, but it was a movie called The Mangler. Awful. And somebody, oh, you're shaking your head. I'm so sorry. And it was, you want to tell them about it? Because I can't. It just hurts. I'm kidding. It's my show. No. But it was like an industrial strength press, wasn't it? Like a dry cleaning plant? Yeah, it would suck in people. I'll go, unplug it. Move over. It wasn't Christine. Christine could drive after you. It was a 57 Chevy, wasn't it, right? It could drive after you, chase you down the alley, and kill you. This thing is a big, giant industrial pressing plant from the Industrial Revolution, and it was like in a dry cleaning factory. And it was called the Mangler. Anyway, long story short, really short. It was called the Mangler, and they wanted, and it was Tobe Hooper, who was kind of a cool dude, made a lot of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre and a bunch of kind of cool horror films. Not this one. And it was a layered sound. They wanted some sound, but the thing didn't have any mouth, so it had to be like drones, and it was, and then another one. And then they mixed them together and then did them backwards, and it was like, oh man, sounds like, you know, the digestion system of a Tyrannosaurus or something. And that was the worst and the hardest and the least rewarding. I was so happy they actually misspelled my name in the credits. Yes. And then there's the Garbage Pail Kids movie. Oh! that? How'd you like the show, Mrs. Lincoln? So, yeah, there you go. Yes, sir.
Any particular reason why you had Dr. Robotics
Well, he was. All the time. That was easy. Yes.
Okay, now.
Thanks for picking up on that.
Okay, I
He was
think,
really paying attention.
okay, I gotta ask. This garbage pail kids, why? I mean,
I didn't make it, and they paid me to be there. I made them pay me.
no, but wasn't there any point at where you just saw it, it was like, I don't want to be part of it.
I think the sewage pail kids were busy that day. I don't. Yeah. You know, God willing, there will be no sequel. Yes. Yes, somewhere up there with ears.
Yeah, go ahead.
How you doing, Jim?
Hey!
My question is, have you ever been approached by Sega to take up the mantle of Robotnik once again? And if the answer is no, if they did, would you do it?
No, and sure. Yeah, you know. I think there was another show that they had in, Canada had one and we had one, you know, the United States. And I think theirs was a little more toony, or if that makes sense, a little more splat and run.
Yeah.
But sure, yeah, Robotnik's kind of cool. I dug him. You know, he was fun to do. You know, the idea that, you know, he'd always go, when you have prisoners, oh, that's good. Because he was the kind of guy that would sit around for fun, let's just get rid of this pesky wing, Mr. Butterfly. Oh, that's good. He's a bad, not a nice man.
Somebody get Jim a cigarette, please.
Yeah, no, and I thought it was just fun to somebody else that much fun being that stupidly bad. Yes. Yes, sir, right there.
Yes.
Or you.
Okay, you have been in quite a lot of roles over the years. Some of them occurring at the same time. You know, you're like one of those overused. You're one of those really used voice.
I'm like tired too. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You're just one of those really used voice actors like John DiMaggio and stuff. How does that not drive you nuts? And how do you keep up with it?
I don't know. Now I can't. Thanks. Now I'm going to probably sit here and think about it, and now I can't get out of bed tomorrow.
Oh,
Thanks.
geez, I'm sorry. I am so sorry.
God. No, I don't know. You just keep on going. It's fun. I mean, you know, I think if you like, you know, I tell my kids, my nephews, nieces, nephews, and you know, if you make a list of things that you like to do so much that you would do them all day long for free and then do them well enough to get paid, shut up and do it. And then that's your career, you know. That's as close as you get to happiness in a career, you know. I would say. Yes, sir. Mr. Mustache there? Yes.
out of all of your Disney characters, I love Pete the most. But what is your favorite?
Can you all hear the questions pretty well?
No.
I kind of heard it.
Yeah, would you
Yeah.
please?
Okay, well, our questioner was asking of all the characters, you like Pete, right?
Yeah, I like Pete the most. Out of all your Disney characters, what's your favorite?
He speaks highly of you as well. Yeah.
What's your favorite?
Gosh, you know, it's tough. I never have a good answer for that, or maybe I do, but you know, Pete's really cool because if you think about it, he's tied for first place as the oldest Disney character because he was in Steamboat Willie with Mickey, right? That wasn't me. The 20s, 1920, whatever, 23, I don't know when that was, but it was a while ago. Yeah, I was very young. But so that's kind of cool. But then Pooh and Tigger are kind of like in their own category because I think I don't know, they come from literature, you know, they're also from the 20s, although they originated in print in England, and they're kind of like their own, you know, they're over there in this Mount Rushmore or the Smithsonian, whatever that would be of animation, so I tend to put them in their own category, but